An IRS whistleblower's testimony has been made public, and there are some damning allegations made about the Hunter Biden investigation. Whistleblowers allege that when Joe Biden became president, his Department of Justice was intentionally slow-walking investigative actions into the president's son. The whistleblower also revealed that investigators uncovered text messages between Hunter Biden and a Chinese executive at a firm that paid Hunter Biden $100,000. Investigators were not allowed to verify these text messages from Hunter that showed him making threats against the Chinese contact, with the weight of Joe Biden's name behind them, all while his father was in the room with him. The allegations further described how the Department of Justice tipped off Hunter Biden that a search was going to be executed on a storage unit that he owned, prohibited investigators from executing a search warrant on a guest house that Joe Biden owned, and stood in the way of investigators who wanted to bring charges against Hunter Biden. What's more is that every single Democrat on the Ways and Means Committee voted to keep this IRS whistleblower's testimony from the public, and we know why. These allegations are damning evidence into the Biden crime family and the Department of Justice's efforts to protect the first family. Now, you'd expect every single media organization in the world to be talking about this bombshell testimony. But why aren't they? Why isn't this on the front page of every newspaper in America? Well, the American people have been pretty distracted over the last couple of days by the missing Titan Submarine, and a damning report from the Wall Street Journal is having people wonder if there is some foul play there from the Biden administration. While there was an international joint effort for days to search for and rescue the missing submersible, the U.S. Navy had concrete evidence that the submarine had imploded just hours after its mission had begun. Why did we waste an inordinate amount of time rushing to rescue people who the government knew to be dead? The Coast Guard, Canadian military units, and unmanned submersibles from France that can go to these extreme depths joined the rescue effort that covered at least 10,000 square miles. Why did they withhold this information from the public? All while millions of dollars were spent in a days-long rescue attempt, and the attention of Americans was captured by this ongoing search. Let's try and put this into perspective. For days, the only thing that captivated audiences in America was this Titan Submersible story. It was the only thing people talked about at the dinner table. It was the only thing people talked about on social media. It was the only thing people talked about on cable news. Everybody was distracted. Everybody was obsessed. Everybody wanted to know the latest update on the submarine. And yet the Biden administration knew the latest update on the submarine. They knew about it for days, and they didn't tell anyone. The timing is just a little too suspicious, isn't it? The Biden administration knew about the fate of the submarine, but decided to withhold that information until the desperate search was exhausted and the submarine would have run out of oxygen. Isn't it convenient that they waited until just after the IRS whistleblower's testimony revealed damning allegations against the Biden crime family and the corrupt, weaponized Department of Justice? The family members of the crew, who we now know tragically lost their lives deep under the ocean, should feel totally betrayed by the Biden administration, who withheld this information from them and gave them false hope. Did the Biden administration wait until it was convenient to use this information as a distraction to cover up their corruption? Did Joe Biden carefully play with the attention, emotions, and hopes of these families and the American people to protect his tax-evading, gun-toting, influence-peddling, deadbeat addict son? We can only speculate for now. But we do know that the Biden administration needs to keep this bombshell IRS whistleblower's testimony out of the news and out of the papers.